voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing the stories are told.
Right.
Yes.
Come
Okay.
on,
Last cut
come
off.
on. This
Thank you.
is
Some
your
comment to I will dive right back in.
No
Okay,
topics
no
too
problem.
I don't think I'm
tough.
done
Just
yet.
heed the calls from mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all. Let's lift every voice. Inner Circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the conversation, let's set the tone. In a Circle podcast where love is well known.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Inner Circle podcast. Today is Tuesday, March 24th. My name is Abe Kamara. I'm a host. Tonight, we have a special guest. Our topic is breaking barriers. Immigrants run for State Senate, Minnesota State Senate, District 38A. And I have Nehemiah Garley in the building with me tonight. And folks, before I get to our guest, you can put a comment in the chat or call our number 763 439-0758. I hope I'm getting it right.
It's 349.
Yeah, 349. Sorry. It's a new number. We change our number. 763-349-0754. So if you have a question for Mr. Garley tonight, you can definitely call and contribute to the conversation. Again, there's a growing community. Please follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on X, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. So with that, we will get to the conversation. Mr. Garley, welcome to the show, and please introduce yourself to our guest. Your first time on the Inner Circle podcast.
Thank you so much, AB. Thank you so much for the invite. The Inner City family, thanks for the invite. I'm glad to be here. It's an honor being here. Everywhere I turn, people keep asking me, have you done the Inner City Cycle podcast yet? And I say I have to get on that show. So when I got your call, I was thrilled to accept that, and was very honored to receive that call. My name is Nehemiah Garley, running for the Minnesota State Senate, SD 38. That covers Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, and Osseo.
Okay. I mean, is it? I know you have been in the Minnesota community for a long time, obviously in the northwest suburbs and in that district. What's the motivation of putting your hat in a race at this point in time?
My motivation is the younger generation. Is to inspire young people to take the lead, to know that if I'm an immigrant, if I can do it, they can do it. But that's part of my motivation, to see a better SD38, to see a better future for our kids, to see a better or safe community for our elders, the senior citizens. Yes.
Okay. Take us back, right? As a Liberian immigrant, what made you to believe that, getting into politics in America, was the right move for you, especially not only going on the local level now, at the city council, but you're going straight for the Senate. What made you to believe that you could run for a state Senate as a Liberian immigrant?
So one thing that AB is that I've never been in politics before. Okay. I'm not a politician. If you look at my life, I was once I grew up, in Minnesota. I came to the U.S. at age 15, and I was that kid without no sense of direction. Okay. That was my story as a child growing up. So, but one of the things I've always done was mentorship. And I have advocated so long, never thought about politics. Work with youth.
Mhm.
My strength is working with youth. Being a foster parent, um, working with violence prevention, anti-hate, and you know, so it comes to the point where you have done all of these things, and the change that you're looking for, it comes from policy. You understand?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
you continue to advocate, but if the policy is not right, it's just going to keep going on. So I've said to myself, you know what? I'm going to get into policy. I'm going to get at the Senate, at this, the Senate, and try to shift some of the policy that affect our community.
mhm, mhm, mhm. For the sake of our audience, I know you said the district encompasses Broken Park, Broken Center. Which other city does it
House
include?
here.
Also, okay.
Yes.
I know there's an incumbent. First of all, can you clarify for us? Are you running on any party tickets? For
I'm,
those.
I'm seeking a party endorsement, the Democratic Party endorsement.
Okay, okay. And are you running against anyone? Who are you running against?
I'm running against Susan Parr.
Okay, so only two of you are running for the Democratic nomination.
For now, yes.
Okay. I hear there was a convention. I don't know whether it was a convention or whatever, and there was some issues where folks were questioning the Liberians that were turning out there as delegates. Can you explain to us what took place at the convention that you guys had at the BFL convention that was a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, so we went in fully prepared for at the caucus, at the party caucus where you take, folks go in there, register. Those that are registered, they become the delegates.
Okay.
They vote at the party convention. So I think one of the things I think I noticed is that they knew that we turned out, and they started to question. So when we got at the convention, it was kind of crazy. Where they had, I want to believe maybe about 50. I heard 50 to 100 names that they're challenging that they didn't want to take part in the process. And when they read out the names, I sad enough, my campaign manager, Nico Woods, who's happened to be African American, being in Broken Park for 4 years. He serves as a chair for the Broken Park DFL. He serves as an African American chair, and he was even ID. To question him, he was ID. I was ID. Bernice Cooper running for city council was ID. We were asked to leave the floor. Binta, that lives in Brooklyn Center, and they went to the point of trying to make it humiliating. But one of the things there is that people still stern, and that process, those that were asked to leave the show, they show their ID, something that is not required in the Democrat Party to ID anyone, and they show their ID and got back on the floor to continue being voting members, and it was crazy. But we were able to overcome. The community stood firm. The community stood tall. I give credit to the community. They stood by my side, and we fought through. We went at least 3 rounds, and were able to block the party from endorsing anyone.
Okay. So at that convention, there was no endorsement.
There was
So
no endorsement.
okay,
And
are you
then,
guys going? Are you guys going to the primary, or what's the next
so,
step?
so what one of the things that we did is that hey, that's
It's my co-host, Miss B. She's always my able and reliable co-host, but she's always late. She's a latecomer, Mr. Garley. No doubt about it. She's always a latecomer, but she's very, very consistent though. So
you know what?
anyway, Miss B, welcome to the show.
Yes, good evening, everyone. It's your girl, Miss B, and I'm happy to be here this evening. Let's pop into the
I'll tell you, man, she's one of the best brains around here. I refer to her as my mentor.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
happy to have you on, Nehemiah.
Thank you and welcome, and thanks for coming late.
Oh,
That's like she's consistent though, but she's always late. But anyway, that's good. Go ahead. As you were saying, what's the next step in whether you guys going directly to the convention, or there's going to be another
So there's gonna be
directly to the primary, or there's going to be another convention?
So the convention is supposed to continue on. So we now we call it part two of the process. So after we blocked the first, we're fortunate to block the first three rounds, and my campaign manager motioned for no endorsement. At that time, it was, I think, 10 minutes to 6, either 10 to 6 or 5 to 6 when we got the final result from the voting. And then Susan, she's a fighter. She said she wanted to go for the fourth round, but we were crushed on time, and so she decided that it should be scheduled at another date. So we are waiting for the fourth round.
How has folks in District 38 embraced your campaign? What's the feel around your campaign? What's the momentum?
Man, this has been the most talked about campaign in Minnesota. Our campaign has been talked about so much, from the capital to everybody in politics has been talking about it. There's a huge momentum, and I give credit to the community, to members of the district. It has nothing to do with me as a person. I have a strong campaign team. We had a meeting on Sunday, and I just told them things, and I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with me. There's so much young folks in the campaign. That's part of they have, those that never voted before. They have not been part of a process before. That has been energized just from the campaign. Just been energized from trying to get me, elected, and that has been really the force behind the campaign. Okay. So the campaign has been, I knew it was a broken part, District 38 campaign, but it has left from District 38 and traveled all the way to St. Paul.
Okay. And
the conversation has been held in St. Paul, where you have now different candidates. Then the phone calls start to change. People, calling you now because they are wondering what happened. How some want to be a part of what is being built. Mm-hmm. And I think, I tell them all the time. I was having conversation with my campaign team. The momentum is there, but we got to keep driving. Susan Pye is a tough cookie. I'll tell you that much. She's a fighter. Okay. I'm not going to take anything lighter with Susan, and we're going to fight to the last day.
Okay. Yes. Ms. B, question from you.
What made you decide to step into the race? I know some people like to keep it safe, right? Yes. They oftentimes want to run for a seat when somebody's like exiting or retiring or want to pass on that baton. What did you see was missing from the district that you decided you wanted to run for this seat against an incumbent, somebody who's been in office, I want to believe, since 2018 in different offices?
Yes. So thank you for that question, Denise. So I grew up in District 38. I remember as a teenager, my first actual job in the U.S. was with Burger King. And I hated Burger King. And then I came to, and I was working at Brooklyn Mall. And I remember, I was making, I think, $5.25 an hour. But I used to wear my little shirt and tie and go to work because I work in a men's clothing store in Brooklyn Mall. And there where the traffic used to be. People are coming from everywhere to come and hang out in District 38. District 38 at the time had over 3,000 footsteps a day from folks pulling in. If you look at the district now, businesses pulling out. Brooklyn Center pays the highest tax in Hennepin County. If you look in the West District, one of the things that broke my heart, I went on a campaign trail in the West District talking to folks in the West District, and senior citizens living in apartment building where there's no heat in January. And that really broke my heart. I was in Brooklyn Center, and I talked to a senior citizen that told me, she said, I'm afraid with the neighborhood that I live in. I got robbed. This is where she lived her life. She lived her entire life in that district. And now when she retires, she's a senior citizen. She should live free within that district. She should not be afraid to leave her house because someone will rob her. There was another lady that I met at the Brooklyn Center Library that was having a conversation with a young lady that told me that her husband was at the bus stop. He got assaulted, and shortly after that, he died. You know, I had my share of gun violence in District 38. I have a friend growing up that was shot, and he was left paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair today.
Okay.
You know, my wife was murdered shot in Brooklyn Park as well. So when you see the district that you grew up in, that used to be a safe place, you know, where my kids' first Christmas pictures, their first Easter picture was taken at Brookdale Mall. To see now that you have to leave the district to shopping. You have to leave the district because that kid's friendly anymore. You have to leave the district because that family friendly anymore. So with those things and continue to watch those things happen, I'm saying no, I can't. Something has to be done. And I tell people all the time, I don't have anything against Susan's leadership. And like I said at the convention, I'm not running against Susan. Susan has done the best she can. But it's time that we take a different course. We cannot continue on this path for another 4 years. See that now, I'm sorry to say, but it's like our district is inheriting Minneapolis problem.
Sure.
Okay. You know, we travel in a West District. Why should folks in the West District live different than folks in the Central District?
Okay.
Why should folks in the West District live different from folks in Maple Grove?
Sure. Okay.
That's a lack of representation.
Yeah, well, folks, tonight we are discussing breaking barriers and immigrants run for State Senate District 38A, and we have Nehemiah Garley in the building. He's running for this seat. He's running as a DFL. You know, all the Liberian people, they are Democrat. I'm only the only Republican, you know. But anyway, anyway, folks, so if you have a question tonight, you can put a comment in the chat. Call our number 763. I always forget the number, 3490754. Again, we have a question, 763-3490754. But to the Susan's point that you brought up, right, is that obviously, as Miss B said, you know, she's been there, you know, she's an incumbent. She probably have a lot of, you know, resources at her disposal. You know, what differentiates your campaign from her campaign? What will you do differently than what she has been doing for the last maybe 10, 15 or whatever years she has been representing that district?
You know, the first thing that differentiate our campaign. Denise was at the convention. When we got to the convention, Susan brought St. Paul to speak on her behalf. You know, senators, representative. You know, she had the strategists from the Democratic Party were all there to speak on her behalf. When we came, we brought the community. This campaign is community focused. Our leadership will be community focused. I'm not concerned about, you know, when I want your record should speak for itself. St. Paul should not have to come and speak for you. The folks that live in the community should come and speak for you. So when folks from the community spoke, there was a young lady that said I inspired her for being a foster parent because she grew up in a foster home. And she's looking to see changes in a foster care system. Yeah, there's the young guys, you know, that a young man that spoke. That's he's in business. He wants more opportunity. He wants better for him. He wants better for his children. So those are people that live within the district. Those are people that's driving the campaign, and those are people that are speaking for the campaign. And those are the people that I want to represent, not St. Paul.
Okay. Ms. B, question for me.
You know, people are going to say, yes, she's been in office since 2016. She ran for Brooklyn Park City Council. And then in 2022, she ran for the Senate. So she's on her first 4-year term. She's looking for re-election. Does that equal experience, right?
Yes, it does.
Does that say she has that experience? What are you coming to do different?
You know, I tell people all the time, experience is good, but not all experience is good. So let's look at the experience. The experience came with businesses leaving. You understand? Crime rate is increasing. The sex trafficking in Brooklyn Center is high. Drug use is high. That's the experience that she comes with. So has the experience transformed the district? No. Our last year was a record money spent on education. But teachers we still have teacher shortage. Our kids are still underperforming. That comes with the experience. So I'm not knocking on Susan's experience. She has the experience, but if we continue to use that experience, we have seen what this experience has done to us in the last 4 years. If we give another 4 years, we'll be in deeper trouble.
Okay. I mean, the fact is though, right? I mean, is that, again, let's stick to that incumbent thing, but also, Broken Power or District 38 is heavily populated by immigrants. They are Hmong, there are other nationalities, and the Hmong know how to mobilize their people. How are you going to mobilize, as a Liberian immigrant, and how are you going to mobilize the Liberian community to support your campaign?
AB, I was having a conversation on Saturday. The most unified, the most caring community you could ever come across is the Liberian community.
But they don't participate in elections. There are a couple of Liberians that have been running.
My thing there is this: you can be unified in so many different ways. Like I was so thrilled when I went to a funeral this weekend, where people are outside just to say the final goodbye. You understand? I remember when I lost my wife, people were bringing food to my house that I didn't even know, coming to show that level of support. That's the unity we have always possessed. Do we have work to do? Yes, we do. We are not the most perfect community. But from what I saw at the caucus, Liberians are ready for a change. For what I saw at the convention, Liberians are ready for a change. There was a full sale that was held for my campaign. And what I saw, I was so impressed. I had a meeting with my campaign team that night, and I said, the folks that would come, because there were already 150 orders placed already. I said, these people are not coming because they want food. They are coming because they want to support us. They want us to get there. So that full sale race generated about 12,000 just from the community. When I was at the convention and I see the imam standing right by me, those Muslim people fasting, and they stood there from 8 to 6. That's something you cannot take away. And people tell you that the Hmong community can vote. I'm not knocking that. But the Hmong community, they were not at the caucus. They were not numbers at the convention. So my thing there is this: we have to give the community the education that the community needs and encourage the community to come out. There's no community that doesn't want representation. The Hmong community has representation. The Somali community has representation. Kenyan community has representation. So we know we want representation. So maybe the community is waiting for the leadership that they want to push. Yeah. And that's what I'm beginning to see. And I would not, any day, maybe I'll tell you any day, I will not show Liberian community for any other community.
Okay. Ms. B, question from you.
So, what is the road looking like to primaries? With or without endorsement? You talked about momentum. What are some of the key things that you are depending on as a candidate in your campaign to get you through the primaries?
Some of the things that so one of the things that I really depend on is the young folks. Denise, I had a meeting on Sunday, and the thing about it, I thought I didn't want to use a bigger room. And when I saw the group that came in, and I'm asking, should we move to a bigger room? They were all flocking in. They're all ready to hit the ground. And I always call them my boots on the ground, where my fans at. Yeah, right? So they are coming in. We are preparing now to start hitting those. We are preparing to start talking to folks. We are preparing to make ourselves visible. We want to be in every city. I see a broken part, broken center, making everybody aware, informing everybody of the campaign, giving them our ideas, and promoting our agenda. So that's what we're gearing up for the primary. I'm so hyped. I can't wait for August 11th because I know we're gonna put in the work. I know I got Inner City Podcast where I will come back anytime. I know I got Denise that I can talk to anytime to pick her brains, and I have a lot of good people around me, and I think with the companies that we have, success is sure.
Okay. I know you mentioned the incumbent you're running against, Susan Farr, right? She brought folks from St. Paul, which meaning like, politicians and other folks in the DFL to speak on her behalf. Do you have any support from the party establishment? Do you have any endorsement from the DFL, from those that are already in office currently, or any of the heavyweights in the party?
AB, I have support out there, but I think for me, I want to be endorsed by the community.
Okay.
I'm community focused.
Yeah.
It's great to have all those endorsements, and I think they are fancy to have and all those stuff. But what's more important to me is the community. If those community can come out, members of the community can come out and endorse me August 11th, that's what I want.
Okay.
I don't want anything else.
Okay.
That's the most powerful endorsement you could ever get.
I know you mentioned the issue of crime. Mm-hmm. If you are elected to the Senate, how will you address the issue of crime in District 38?
So that when you are confronted with crime, the issue is that it's not a one size fit all type of approach. So one of the things that you have to bring businesses back. For businesses to come back, they have to be comfortable. They have to feel secure. How can they feel secure? You need to invest in things that do make an impact. You want to invest in crime before it happens. I'm already working with youth. I have the youth empowerment program. I do violence prevention. So if you start to prevent and focus on education for the young people, it will help.
Okay.
You don't, and one of the things that I want to see happen is that we need, in a sense, community policing. We need police that are from within the district. I want AB to be my police officer. I want Denise to be my police officer. I want to know who my police officers are. That will help.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that can be done to reduce the crime rate.
Okay. Ms. B, question from you.
So your seat, unfortunately, is not a nonpartisan seat. City council, local races are nonpartisan. So we clearly know that you are a DFL candidate as you are seeking the endorsement for the party. However, when you get to the Senate, you're going to have some bipartisan support and allyship. How are you seeing your relationships right now as you're running for this office across the aisles?
One of the things that I pride myself in, and I'll just give you a little short story answer on this question. My name is Nehemiah. And Nehemiah is someone who rebuilds, who builds, right? My traditional name is Yonkatu. It's someone who cares about people, who loves people. I am a personality of my names. I have good relationship with Republicans and Democrats. And I tell people all the time, do not be afraid to have relationship. Relationships do not change who you are. It should not change who you are. It should not change what you stand for. So when I get there, I want to be able to work with both Democrats and Republicans, independent, to come in the middle and to solve the problem of the people.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing. Oh, go ahead.
And that kind of responds to the fact that so much so that people are accusing you of being a Republican.
Yes.
Because you seem to have already established that level of relationships, right?
That's good. Yes. And Denise,
a Republican seeking DFL endorsement.
Yes, that's this. I've heard that conversation. So one of the things that AB.
So are you a secret Republican? Tell the people, yeah, man. I'm a proud Republican, though. Don't be. Are you a secret Republican? I'm just messing with you.
Well, I know my voting records will show that I'm a Democrat. I've always voted for Democrat candidates. But one of the things I tell you, you cannot solve problem by not talking. That is not going to solve the problem of the district. To solve problems, you have to listen, you have to talk. I listen to Republicans. I talk with Republicans. I am still a Democrat. I will continue to be a Democrat. But yet and still, for you to solve the problem in the district, and that's some of the reasons why businesses are leaving. Because the current senator is not talking. You cannot have one conversation. You always have to listen to what people say. You have to be able to work with people, but maintain your values.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing broken barriers. We have Nehemiah Garley in the building. He's running for District 38, in the state Senate. Broken Park is the capital city. Broken Center is the capital city of Liberian in the diaspora, and that's the area the mayor is running. So if you have a question tonight, you can put a comment in the chat or call our number 763-349-0754. Again, 763-349-0754. The one thing that I wanted to get to, right? So we have been hearing a lot about the issue of fraud. And you Democrats have been running this state now for the last couple of years. So the whole issue of fraud, is like, it's on you guys. What will you do, right, differently, from your party if you are elected to the state Senate regarding fraud? What will you do?
I think one of the biggest misstep is accountability. We must have accountability. You look at our district, for example, where you see businesses leaving. There's so many empty buildings sitting there. This like Broken Center has the opportunity zone. There's no opportunity in that zone. We have all these issues, right? Then you tell me that you don't know how it's 9 billion, right?
That's the number that's a figure that has been thrown around, but in all fairness, right, the state has only investigated less than $1 billion, and in all fairness, but talking about once everything investigated, almost $18 billion. I'm just kidding, but go ahead.
Yeah, right. So let's so just let's just see the numbers that they are giving us without the investigation. Let's see if it's true. How can you have your district performing so poorly and don't have accountability, that will have that level of money that is being mismanaged? And one of the issues that we have, AB, is that we are not being funded. We have our priorities misplaced. We have our priorities misplaced. And I tell you, District 38 is not being represented. It has been misrepresented.
Okay.
Our diversity must be a strength. It's not a weakness.
Yes.
You have to tap into the diversity you have. We are the most diverse district in the state of Minnesota. 2 or 3 jobs. My mother worked 2 jobs, I remember. My father worked a job when I remember. We worked 2 or 3 jobs. It's the most diverse district. How can we perform this poorly?
Okay. Ms. B, question from you.
So yes, jobs. You talk about businesses. What are some of the things that you think needs to happen in order to bring our businesses back? Besides reducing crime, what are some of the other components that you think needs to happen to address the lack of businesses? Employment is low in the city. A lot of folks have to leave the city for employment. What are some of the things that you're going to do to address that?
We need good paying jobs right here in our district. We need to empower small businesses. We need to invest within. And look, we are entrepreneurs. The problem we have is that we don't have opportunities. If you look at why don't we have a cultural center? This is the most diverse district in the state of Minnesota. Why people are not putting in this district? For cultural reasons. A Vietnamese restaurant, a Vietnamese clothing store, a Nigerian clothing store, or Liberian clothing store, or Liberian restaurant. I was at somebody sent me a picture the last time, and I saw my Susan Pine, her campaign team. I don't know if it was lunch or dinner, wherever it was. And I look at a picture and I say, oh, wow. You take your team outside the district to eat. because you don't have a good sit-down restaurant. I hope you understand. You are the head, and you do not trust your restaurants that you have to give you a good dinner. So you go outside the district to spend money. We need to empower our residents to be business owners. If I want to have a good dinner, I want to have it right here in District 38.
Okay, okay. I mean, into that, right? Let me stick to the issue of jobs and businesses. I mean, you said obviously booking center. Back in, I can tell that you've been definitely you came at the age of 15, of course, and you've been in the community for long because you're talking about Brookdale Mall, but that mall is no longer there. Businesses, Walmart went down there. Walmart had to run away and things like that. You know, but again, right? The district is very, very diverse. There are a lot of ethnic businesses that can fill those gaps. What will you do to encourage businesses? I mean, obviously, like ethnic businesses to fill those gaps. You guys said, right? Immigrants are entrepreneurs. What will you do to make sure like immigrants are, instead of just working this 9 to 5, are filling those gaps?
So I talked to this guy from Vietnam, of Vietnamese, and that's a conversation we're having. You have all these empty buildings, right? So let's even look at our community. For example, everybody cooks in their apartment. Everybody cooks in their apartment.
I tell Miss B all the time. I say all the Kobo share in the apartment.
Yes, right? They sell food in the apartments. Are you telling me those people are not restaurant owners that lack opportunities? They are restaurant owners. If you can, if you can use that little burner to cook a big pot of cassava leaf to sell to people, there's something in you. So one of the things that I would be so intentional to do is to empower people. There's a park, there's a Tanner Park, and I was having a conversation with a member of the city one time. Talking about the park, the folks go there on the weekend. I mean, weekdays they are there, they're hanging out, and sometimes there's fight break out, and they want to shut the park down to stop people from coming there. I said, it's not the right thing to do. I said, these people are looking for activities. They are working class people. Their culture, they go to work after work, they stop to a little drinking spot, have the little roasted fish, they do whatever they want to have. Minnesota is a cold state during the winter. They are inside all winter long. Find a way to protect them. And the city could make money from that. It doesn't have to come as a liability. So those are some of the little steps we need to take. And then another thing, it's the regulation. You have a diverse community where people are speaking different languages or different dialects or wherever they speak. Some of them can even speak English. But for them to have a catering license, the standard is a U.S. standard. It's an American standard. You understand? Bring it down to their level. Let these same people be able to cater for City Hall when City Hall is having an event. They should not be left out of the process because they can't speak English or because they cannot pass the catering test or go to a catering school. Bring it to them. Okay. So those are some of the small steps that we have to take. Look at during the summer. One of the best things that our district has, look at the summer, AB. Nowhere in the state of Minnesota, you go to a park where you find no less than 500 individuals every single weekend. But the city doesn't make money from that. No less than 500 individuals. The city doesn't make money for that.
Okay.
Instead, we police that.
Yeah.
Ms. B, question from you.
No, I'm just really enjoying your intentionality to make some critical assessments, right? You have the crowd, you have the people, and as much as people, the income may not be there, but they still find value in carving out what little bit that they can for their social and leisure opportunities. And so I appreciate you sharing some of what are really low-hanging fruit, right? But that intentionality has not been there in the past to address that. And so your district struggles from education, right? And so I'm thinking is you're talking about education. I would like to hear more about how are you planning to provide some of that education, be it entrepreneur training or vocational training, technical training right now, from youth to grown adults.
So one of the things I want to see when it comes to our youth is that I say educational excellence. If you don't want to go, we have to have conversations with our youth. What's your plan? Do you want to go to a 4-year college? No. What do you want to do? You want to be a mechanic or electrician? Let's send them to those jobs training, career training. Let's list with different community colleges and have them. The crimes are being committed between the time of 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Those kids are loose. And one of the things that I'm tired of hearing, we need basketball court. We have basketball court. We need to give them skills that go beyond basketball court. Mm-hmm. So let these kids go. I am for pay intern. Let's have a mentorship program. If they want to be, I have a buddy that we went to high school together, and we always joke about it. And he said, "Man, when I was in high school, he said the only class I pay attention to was my auto mechanic class." Right? He makes so much money now from doing that. We can empower these kids.
Okay.
So my thing is that let us invest in the classrooms. Let us look at programs that are not working. The wasteful spending, we have to cut it off and invest in the classrooms, invest in the youth, empower them. It's not about basketball court or football field. We have those things. Those things are good. But what is great is the educational component, the training that will last them for the rest of their lives.
Okay. Like right now we live in a high inflationary environment, right? Even with the war in the Middle East, gas prices are high. Affordability, especially in your district, right? Folks can struggle to afford rent and all basic necessities. What will you do about the issue of affordability when you are elected to the state senate?
AB, affordability starts with good paying jobs. Affordability starts with opportunity. Mm-hmm. When we talk about affordability, a lot of time people think that giving me low income housing is affordability. You keep me at that level for the rest of my life. Affordability is when I can come and bring money in the district to empower Denise. If Denise has a good paying job or Denise has her business, your podcast is doing great, you will be able to afford whatever you want to afford. And I tell people, look, I don't want us to limit ourselves. These conversations are not being held in Maple Grove. These conversations are not being held in Champlain. Low-income housing, we have had enough of ours. I'm not against low-income housing, but I'm for empowerment. Let us empower ourselves. Let us empower our youth. Let us empower our neighbors. When people are empowered, crime rate goes down. At that point, you can afford. You start to build generational wealth.
Okay. Ms. B, question from you.
No, you really brought a different spin on that answer. I was not expecting that, and I saw the Republican in A was smiling when you responded to that question around affordable housing, right? And you provided a different spin. So I kind of want to touch more on that, right? So are you saying that you believe that the root cause to this affordability dilemma is connected to income, or the root cause for some of the supplemental needs is connected to wages? And if you want, what does it look like for these high wages jobs? Like, what are we talking about? How do these high wage jobs get created? What does that look like?
One of the things I pride Mia Hollis and the Broken Pie about and John Huffman is the biotech district that's coming in District 34. That's great. It will benefit Broken Park. We get it, but it's in District 34, right? District 38. Walmart left. Carrefour left. We don't have no big businesses here. We don't have factories here. We need to have conversation with those people. If we can bring some of those businesses back, would be great. Now, like we don't even have Office Max here. You know, so we need to have conversations with some of the businesses that left. But for us to have conversation with those businesses, they have to be comfortable to want to come back. I was at the in Brooklyn Center at a Asian restaurant, and this guy said he lives out of the district. His restaurant is there. He leaves early because of auto theft. So business owner, he closes early and leaves early. You understand? So for us to bring businesses back, we must lower the crime rate. We must make business owners comfortable to want to be here.
So, do you think that your district needs more police officers? I mean, district 38, district 30, is it short of cops? Do you need? I mean, when it comes to the issue of crime.
I don't think we are short of cops. If you look at Broken Park has done pretty good with the crime rate. That's a low record. The crime rate has been down in Broken Park, but the West District, there's still some struggles in the West District, and that's part of my district. So one of the things, AB, I believe, is that we have to shift to community policing. And when I'm saying community policing, it's higher from within the police force. I was having a conversation with one of the guys on my campaign team, and he said that he got pulled over, and he's sitting in the car with him. When the guy came, there was somebody he knew. They had a conversation, told him what he needed to do. He was off. Right? That's community policing. I want my neighbor to be my police. That's one of the things I say this. I want us to provide a housing incentive for police officers that live within the district. Let's make it attractive for them to be in the district. I want housing incentive for teachers that live in the district.
Okay.
I want Denise to be my teacher. You already my mentor. I want you to be my teacher. You understand? Let us make it attractive. I want to see higher pay for teachers. I want to see housing for teachers. Now we can have the conversation of affordable housing. Right?
Okay.
Let the police officer be able to live within the district and afford to live in the district. Let the teachers live in the district. Let's hire from within the district. The police department, we are 47% of the population. The diversity, the police should be more than half, at least half.
Okay.
Should be people of color.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing breaking barriers and immigrants run for State Senate District 38. Nehemiah Garley is in the building. He's running for District 38. So tonight, if you have a question, please call our number 763-349-0754. Ms. B, question from you.
Before we get out of here, you got to get some plugins, do some promotion and some marketing about this campaign. So, tell us, where can we find you? How can we connect to your campaign? And how can people help to fund?
Good. Question I was waiting for. That's what I like about you. If you didn't ask me that question. So we have a few major events coming up, fundraising. We're going to do one in Broken Park, Broken Center. And last year, we're going to be doing Full Sail Car Wash. We're going to have some of that. We are desperately in need of raising money. We need every fund possible. And I said, Susan Powell has the 100. I will support her campaign. They have the resources to do that. Our community, we haven't built ourselves to that level yet. So every $5, $10, whatever you have is important to us. It will take us a long way. I'm asking people to please support our cause. Listen up for the different events that will be happening. You can visit our website, Nehemiah Garley for SE38.org. You can visit our website. You'll find out the events that are coming up. And most especially, man, we're gonna continue with that. Community members there's a community member now that's few community members came together and told me they want to host or fundraising full sale. So I'm gonna be promoting that in a nice few days. And I'm encouraging people, if you don't want to give me your money free, just buy the food. Go get some food and support the campaign. Just remember, whatever food you buy, it's gonna be for a bigger cause. It's gonna help our community to get seat at the table. You know, there was a guy I talked to on Saturday, and he asked me a question, and that question stuck with me. What was the question? He said, "Is there a cause? Is there a cause?" And the answer is yes. We have a cause. A cause we're trying to get elected. There has never been, ever in the history of the U.S., a Liberian state senate. We have been here the longest than any other immigrant population. But we have never had that representation. This is our opportunity. And I'm asking everyone to please come and jump on board. We need volunteers. We need people to knock doors. We need people to spread the words out. We need the message to go out.
Okay.
We need everybody involved. As I'm appealing to everybody, the momentum is there. The community has been giving us support, and I thank the community so much. But we still have a long way to go.
Okay. Well, just a point of correction, I think we have, it's not a Senate, but I think we're still represented in the state of Colorado. You know, obviously, you know.
With the Senate, yeah.
We are here on the platform. You know, obviously, I might agree with you a little bit because like this Minnesota is the capital of Liberian diaspora, but we have zero representation here. So I agree with you on that part of it. You know, obviously, you know, those Liberians that are listening to you, those that are in District 38, hopefully they can rally around you and, you know, and support your cause and support your campaign. But here's the thing, though. I mean, just in regard to that, do you feel pressure to represent not just yourself, but the Liberian community, and how do you handle that?
You know, I don't think there's a pressure. Maybe, you know, I wake up every day with a sense of strength, and the strength comes from the community. The strength comes from the youth that are behind me. The strength comes from the young people that are pushing me. And I have not done anything much for this campaign, to be honest with you. The community has done everything. The young people that I have behind me have done everything. The pressure, I believe, has been more on them than me. So I am just, you know, man, sometimes you find yourself in a situation where someone needs to step up. And I just took that step. You understand? But I'm not the most qualified Liberian. I'm not even the best Liberian. But I'm the one that took that step. And I took the step because the step needed to be taken. And I just need the community to keep pushing, and we're going to keep going until we get to the finish line.
Okay. The other thing, though, I know politicians, when they are running these campaigns, you know, they talk sweet talk, you know, they are available. But once they get in the heart of power, they disappear. What will you do differently?
You know, I went to give rice to I see my Oma there in the West District the other day. So if you see me, you would have thought I was in Liberia. You know, got the bag of rice on my shoulder, and somebody said, they said, because you want to run? And I laughed. I said, no, it's because I like to serve. I've always been in service. I have never been a one to take a back seat. I have never been a one to want to be in that office space. I like to serve. I like to see people do good. It's not about me. That's what I became a foster parent, was to serve. After I lived my life as a single parent, when my wife was murdered, I raised my kids. When I got done, there was a need. And I said, we'll fill in this void to bring kids in my home. When I work with kids, when there's no fundings for us to move our program, when you work with these kids, it brings me joy.
Okay.
It's a sense of service. So, and I tell people all the time, there's few things here, AB. When something is not in you, it's not in you. If it's not organic, it's not organic. People will sense it.
Okay.
If you enter a room and you see somebody who is willing to take off his seat and give it to somebody else, to see that older lady that came by to sit, to grab a bottle of water for someone, it is organic. It's not something to say you cannot fake life.
Okay. If you win this election and get to the state senate, what will you tackle in your first 100 days?
First 100 days. um, the issues we are having, there are so many, but my biggest concern right now would be crime. One, lower the crime rate and trying to bring opportunities right to the district. I want to hit that heads on. We have to catch our youth right now. Now is the time. We cannot afford to see our kids continuously going to jail. We have to start having that conversation right now. One of the things I want to see when I'm elected August 11, I want to start having conversations before I even get there. I want to bring the Denise Butler into the table. I want to bring Issa to the table. Let us have conversations. How can we empower our youth? I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the ideas. Let us have conversations. Let us start putting plan in place. So once I get there, we have a plan of action.
Okay. Ms. B, question for me.
You sure it won't be pambara and fufu and soup in the first 100 days?
The first 100 days.
When we come to visit you, the Liberian food set, maybe that's why we haven't made it there yet. The Liberian food set will be all over the capital.
We'll use air freshener.
Yeah. So, it's very exciting to see this happening, right? Honestly, to see that the array and diversity of people of color, I don't even like to use that people of color, but different ethnic groups basically running for office here in the state of Minnesota, where the proportion of people of different ethnic groups is very little compared to our Eastern Europeans, if you want to put it that way. And so it's very exciting to see this race between you and Susan Pa. And congratulations to both of you for stepping in the race, right? It takes a lot to put yourself out there, right? So how is your family looking right now? How is your family and your personal group dealing with you running for this seat?
These things happen to you in life. Don't ever ask why. There's a purpose. I remembered, and I'm not saying this for you to go use it against me. I had my kids when I was young. All right. I had my son, I was age 21. And my two girls, I was pretty young. We built that relationship. And it'd be the most intriguing thing is to wake up every morning to the phone calls. What do we need to do? Denise, you were at the convention, you saw my daughter speaking. She's serving the military. She was speaking at a young age. And so after the convention, they called me. It was the convention on that Saturday. Sunday, they went for brunch. They got a whole cousin team. They all go for brunch. And she got so annoyed. She called me. She said, "Daddy, it's so sad now. All we talk about is politics." So these kids that have never been involved in politics before, that has come to the stage for the first time, they're sharing that level of excitement, and it makes it easy for me. So they are doing great. They're out there ready to do knock. They're part of the meeting, and they are being part of every meeting and every conversation and every activity. So we are doing great. We are doing really good.
Okay. If you are elected to the state senate, you serve for so long, at the end of your term, what will you want your legacy to be?
Service, AB. And maybe because I haven't gotten there yet, maybe because I haven't tasted politics, my intention is not to serve for a long time. My intention is to empower someone else, to empower the younger generation, to empower new ideas. I don't want to be the Mitch McConnell. I want younger people to come. And when we started the conversation, I told you, I'm doing this for the younger people. Maybe it will give them the courage.
Okay. So in that regard, then what will you say to a young immigrant watching you tonight who, feel disillusioned about politics, who doesn't like politics. The country is so divided. Politicians, they can say politicians can lie like hell. What we say to a young immigrant watching you tonight who doesn't care about politics?
One of the things that we all don't have to care about politics. To some extent, I get it. One thing we have to remember, it affects our everyday lives. Maybe you will never know. And when I'm saying everyday, forget about the presidency. It's something else. But at the city level, it affects you. I don't care what you do. So you might not care about politics, but the way the world functions, the war is represented by those that show up. If you don't show up, you're not represented.
Okay.
So I will tell you today, if you are watching, if you have any doubts, get involved. Get involved with the city council. Get involved with some sort of commission. Get involved with anything that has to do with the city. Caucus next time. Be a delegate. Do anything to make your voice heard. That is your power. They will call your phone and beg you for your support. Then you decide who should lead you.
Okay. Well, folks, great conversation. Obviously, we have been discussing breaking barriers and immigrant run for state senate. It's a 1 hour show. It's been a great conversation, man. So, Ms. B, I will let you have your last question or comments, and then from there we'll get into rapid fire as we do here. Where I want to learn something about them. You talk about Pambota. I got some Pambota question for the man. So, by the way, I'll let you ask your last question or comments, and then we can get it.
Nehemiah Garley. Running for Senate District 38, 2026. Again, congratulations. Best of luck. And, I pray that, the best candidate makes it to the Senate in 2027.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And Denise, thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you so much. I am so grateful for you. I'm grateful for your service to the community. I'm grateful for your passion to the community. I'm grateful to see someone like you that want to see the community move to the next level. You'll always be remembered. You're making great impacts in a quiet way. Thank you so much for everything.
Okay. As we before we get into our rapid fire stuff, what is the one thing you would like folks to know that what is it about Nehemiah Garley that folks don't know, right? That way, someone meeting you, it's like might be surprised. Someone might be knowing you for a long time, but what is the one thing that folks don't know about you?
One thing I struggle with now is that when I told people I was running, nobody believed it. They say I'm too jovious to be serious. And I tell people there's a serious part of me that people don't know.
Okay.
So Maybe you catch me on the right day, we laugh and joke. But I'm up 2, 3 in the morning working. When people are sleeping, I'm working. When there's peace and quiet, that's when I start to meditate. That's what I put in my seriousness. So then when I see people, I like to give that smile and laugh and, and talk and we connect. But on the tone, there's a serious part of me. So a lot of people don't, somebody told me one time, when I saw it, I thought I was AI picture. I said, why would it be AI picture? Why would my picture, be an AI picture? Because he thought that it was some sort of joke. But that's the one thing that people might not know about me is that I have this part of me.
Okay. So now let's get into some rapid fire before we wrap up here, right? One word to describe your leadership. What's the one word I would describe your leadership?
One word. Persistent.
Oh, that's good. What's the one food or the one thing you still carry with you from Liberia? I know you came at the age of 15, but what's the one thing from Liberia that you still carry with you to this day?
My country behavior.
Okay. What's your favorite Liberian food?
Tabagi or pambada?
You know what, Denise? It used to be pambada.
Right, is that why you have failed Miss B because she keeps
No, but you're right though. It used to
Okay,
be
okay.
palm butter, but now I think I'm more on the pepper soup side.
Okay.
Yes,
See?
I that and it's the pepper soup is for my health.
Mm.
Yes.
What's your favorite Minnesota dish? And what's your favorite Minnesota food?
Oh, do. You see, I have to think.
I mean, going to a station though, they'll probably be asking you. I mean, is that
Yeah.
Just say
okay?
fish.
Fish, yeah.
What is it? The walleye? I think it's that Minnesota
Okay,
fish.
okay.
You know, I had a soul food restaurant before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when it comes to the fried chicken and those things, yeah, I have my share. You can see from my structure, I have my share. So now I narrowed down to pepper soup.
What's the hardest part of running for office?
The hardest part,
Yeah.
I think, is listening to the stories.
Mm.
Listening to the stories of people that want change.
What's the one issue you're obsessed with right now?
Come again?
What's the one issue you're obsessed with right now while you're on the campaign trail?
That I'm obsessed with?
Yeah.
You know, I think, man, I think the senior citizens. You know, I'm the person that took care of my mom and my dad until they died. So when I talk to the citizens, that's what I'm obsessed with, talking to the citizens, and it's almost like they tell you what they have been through. They tell you what life has been and where they are now. You know, that moves me more than anything else.
Okay. What do you do in your when you're not running campaigns or working? What do you do in your free time?
A family man.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. District 38A deserves. Finish our sentence.
District 38A.
Yeah, deserves. Finish our sentence.
I guess what District 38A deserves. I can tell you what District 38 deserves.
Oh, District 38. That's what I meant. District 38.
District 38 deserves my leadership.
Okay.
Nice.
Favorite music or artist?
Boots on the ground. Where my fans at? My campaign team, I just made up. They just made up. And you know when I launched my campaign, and after my speech, for some strange reason, the DJ hit that, and we started to dance to that song. So where my fans at? Yes.
Oh man, that's a good one.
It is.
Win or lose. What's next?
Win.
What's next?
Win.
What's next? Okay.
Whether you win or lose, what's next?
What's
Win.
next?
There's not a
He
lose.
says win. That's what's
Yes,
next.
sir.
You're not gonna lose.
When you win, what's next?
My thing is this: we're gonna win. When I get ready to get sworn in, I want to see all of you guys with me. First day of work, palm butter. We are bringing it to the capital. The very first time the capital gonna taste and smell that palm butter.
Who's
And we're gonna tell Senator Hoffman we bought all the products from Cup Food.
Who's your political mentor?
My political, you know, I don't know if I have a political mentor, but
Or who's the leader you admire most in politics? Who's the leader you admire
when I
most?
tell you, you know, Ibi, I'm not carried away by the big brands. I'm so community focused. So like, you'll not be like Denise, right? At Bernice. Those people, when I talk to them, they feel me. I'm not, I don't know, I'm not the type that will sit and watch TV and say I admire this person because you don't know who's on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what you see. That few seconds clip. But the people that you have conversations with every day, the people that you know every day, those are the people that I look up to.
Okay. Well, it's been a great conversation. Glad that we could have you here on the Inner Circle podcast. Thanks so much for accepting our invitation. It's been a great one. Wish your campaign a success. Before we wrap up, we'll give you the last word to say everything to those that are watching us tonight and those that will be watching this segment. What do you want to say to the folks in your district and folks around the world?
Before I get to that, AB, man, I appreciate you so much. You know, I always tell people you and I look at twins. I think it's a goatee and a boy. so thank you so much for the invitation. I promise you I will come back anytime on your show.
Okay.
Comes August 11, whatever the result is, I will be on your show if you call me to.
Sure.
And everybody else that's watching, District 38 deserves better. We deserve a leadership that listens to the people, a leadership that is willing to lead. Leadership is about service. It's not to come around during time of election. That's not the leadership that you need. You want somebody who has a life experience. I have been a part of this district. This district is my life. This district is the only district that I know. And I want to see the district do better. I have seen the district at its best, and I'm seeing where the district is now. And I know we can do better. I'm asking you to put your hands around me. Let me be a servant. I want to serve you. Thank you so much for listening. And I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
Man, we are politicians. We are American politicians. Well, folks, that's the end of our show tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for our business segment. Thank you so much for you.
Have a great night, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you again to our guests.
Thank you.